I think I've done quite a lot of interviews where I've said that I've done a lot of research and stuff into how Asa was as Mordred, and tried to bring as much of that into it as possible. I think that if I did Mordred, like if Asa hadn't have been in the show, and it was this series, and this was the first time you saw Mordred, I think he would be a little bit different to what you've seen on television so far. I'm still trying to incorporate some of what Asa does and try to bring it in. But as the series is going to progress, I think that's going to sort of drift away, and yeah, yeah. I just started being myself. I was like, no. Asa had these loads of little mannerisms, and he's quite still all the time and stuff like that. So I tried to bring all that into it. So yeah. Any other questions? Yes.
Was it difficult coming into like an already established cast and trying to be like this really strong character against everyone else?
Yeah. It took...
What was that like?
I suppose the first month was a bit difficult because the familiarity with everyone, they're like, really close friends, and the level of banter was through the roof, really. There was been jokes that I just didn't get, and I was a bit sort of clueless and a bit scared, but...
Plus I got kicking his shins.
Yeah, that didn't help. First minute as well, he didn't even say hello, just ran up and just gave me a big boot. No, no, it was, but after that, it's become second nature, and hopefully it shows, I think. And the episode that's coming out tonight is a fun one because there's a lot of humour with. The Knights have a lot of sort of humour with Mordred as his first patrol, so that'll be fun. Eoin has no idea. It's the Disir, the episode 5, the banter.
It's discussing which one I think it is. I'm thinking.
Oh, yeah. Pass on. Any other questions while this is happening? Hello, yes.
One scene, the whole thing, that's all I remember.
Yes, because I had a line.
I got nothing. Alex, here's a tell what this episode's about.
This is like Mordred's first patrol as a knight of Camelot, and everything goes a bit tits. Nothing goes as planned. Typical Merlin. Yes, you? How do I get into character for Mordred? I don't think there's like a particular thing that I did. What's different is that I felt... So Mordred is the sort of the druid bandit that you see in the first couple of episodes. That sort of coat and the scarf and thing, that really got me into character. But the minute I became a knight, started wearing the chainmail, I felt incredibly young, especially around these guys. So I think that the age suddenly shifted a little bit, and like I said, tonight is probably the first time you'll see sort of a less ambiguous side to Mordred. It's less sort of cold stares and I wonder where he's going to be and where is it.
I got none of this from your character the whole story. They do a really good job of explaining it, I have to say.
Thanks, Eoin. Yes.
Well, I think in Merlin there's a lot of very convenient knocks on the head and and I was wondering, especially for your two characters, if you I'm sorry, the screen's really throwing me off.
Oh, how the knights would react if they... Oh, I know. Oh, I know. How would you react if... Oh, right.
Fair enough.
And how would Gawain react to Merlin? Would it be that? You got nothing else out? Oh, right. That's great. Cool, man.
You should have given me that line.
I saw a tweet earlier that you had seen Skyfall and you said you wanted to be a Bond fan.
I did, yeah.
If you were,
Yeah.
what would your name be?
They always have the most silliest names, don't they? Oh God, that's quite hard. I'm going to think about that and then when we do the signings, I'll have it prepared for you. How's that? That's a better one. Yes.
Is there no one in Camelot that remembers that Mordred is magic?
You are banned from asking questions about the minute, okay? I know where you are. I know where you're sitting. All right, second one. Karen, can we get rid of her? She's been really awkward. Thanks.
I think there's something. I don't know. Just because he's a druid doesn't necessarily mean that he. I think Arthur knows he's a druid doesn't necessarily know he has magic. I think that's what they're I think that's what they told me. I think I asked the same question. I think like I went to Johnny and Julia and went, oh, what? Doesn't he know? And apparently just because he was a druid doesn't necessarily mean he has magic. So I think that's how they've got away with it. But yeah, I know. You can roll your eyes. I'm rolling my eyes too. Yeah. You.
You said, this is for all of you, but you know when you said, oh, they should have given me that line, is that a hint to
No. I know, like, the reveal is probably, like, the thing that everyone's just been waiting for since, like, episode 1, series 1. But, yeah, we can't give anything away about that. Can we, boys?
I don't remember.
Owen is useless. Yes, you.
Hi, this is for all of you.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering how much you knew of Arthurian legend before you came onto the show, and how did it affect your portrayal of your characters?
I sort of knew about it, I guess. I didn't sort of like do any research about it. When I got the job, Johnny and Julian sort of gave me a big backstory about Mordred as far as the legend, and I knew about the Battle of Camlan and how everything ends, but not necessarily like the stuff in between.
I watched a cartoon called The Knights of Justice. Anyone watch that? King Arthur and the Knights of Justice. Who watched that? No one? Just me. I knew little, I would say. But then I think it's your job as an actor to go and research it once you get a part and stuff, you don't know anything about it. So I went and researched one Wikipedia page, I think. And there was one, I think, I remember seeing about Sir Percival called Sir Percival the Strong, or something like that. Is that right? Or something like that? Anyone? Yeah, is that right? So I went, okay, cool. It'd be cool if I got no sleeves or something to show my muscles up. And then they gave me that grant. So, you?
I clearly did copious amounts of research. Yeah, I mean, I knew about it because I'm much more well-educated than most people. And I read books and stuff. So you know, I think actually after I auditioned for it, then I went and read the character and went, oh, I would have done that very differently. Because that's what he's like. And to be honest with you, when I came in, there was a Scottish guy, David Moores, who was really great, and he just kind of let me do whatever the hell I wanted. And then I kind of got to create this character and decided, oh, this is kind of how he is. And then they kind of let me do it. And what they did was, in Merlin, which they have done a little bit, because they write as they go along, which is very inconvenient, because you get given the whole script like the day before you're shooting. And sometimes you wish they had a bit more of a plan. They really don't. I swear to God. But it meant that they would also kind of change storylines depending on the actors and so forth. So, like, if I was crap, I would have been cut out. Same with Alex and same with Tom. So, that's what they would do. No,
It's only one episode. If you don't see us, that's because we.
Pretty much. They kind of went, the previous few episodes you were a bit crap, so we'll just cut you out. No, but that's what they did. So they did kind of let us then develop the characters to a certain extent, but not that much, because they're basically control freaks. And this is going all over the internet, isn't it? I do love them dearly. Next question.
Yes.
Have you had any awkward or embarrassing audition moments?
I'll go first because I'm on the microphone. I went for an audition about 2 or 3 months ago for this part, and I decided that I read the script and I really liked it, and I decided the scenes that they wanted me to do weren't really that good, so I did my own scenes. I wasn't supposed to do that, and she made me do the scenes I hadn't prepared, which were crap, and I told her they were really crap. I didn't get that part.
Good going. One of my very first auditions was for an internet advert for something to do with football, but my agent called me up and said, "Tom, can you play football?" And I said, "A little bit. I'm a goalkeeper, right?" And I said I could play a little bit, and he was like, "Great, I got you an audition." Went into the room, and the casting director said, "So we just want you to do a few kick-ups. Just, like 10 or 20. And I went, "Right." So I proceeded to do 1.5. And on my second, I basically booted the ball at the casting director's head. She had to dodge out of the way and gave me the ball and said, "Do you want to give that another go?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." And that was me not getting the part. There you go. Alex?
I had an audition for a commercial, and it was a car commercial where I had to arrive on a parachute, land in the car. Obviously not, but to pretend that I arrived on a parachute, landed on the sea. There was a rally driver driving. I was surprised to see him. It does sound like Fiery Hawk. Have you ever seen that?
Can we put that? No, we can't.
No. No. But landed, parachute.
Reese on it.
Reese, can you get Fiery Hawk on YouTube?
I don't think we can.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, Fiery Hawk's very funny.
Oh.
It's on YouTube.
Can we see?
Oh, is that a bit?
No.
Watch it in your own time.
It's on YouTube, but is that a bit?
It's a bit.
Yeah, watch the general age in there.
No, Reese, don't do that.
Don't. Yeah, at the landing in the car, there's a rally driver next to me, supposed to be impressed that I knew him, and the car had to swerve and land and sort of drive on the two wheels, and they just said, "Go." You're just sort of standing there going... And yeah, and if you can just... Yeah, okay, so you're doing this really weird... And then you sort of land in the seat, and yeah, it was a bit, and then because I was up on the two wheels. Yes, safe to say I did not get the commission. Good question. One more? Yeah.
Just all the knights are sort of really loyal to Arthur.
Uh-huh.
Does it make you feel cool being a bad guy?
Is he a bad guy? Awesome! Like tonight. I keep saying about tonight because tonight's quite pivotal, and I think appeasing what people think of who